Hello, everyone. I'm going to try to create the sheet with the section perspective. So if we have this section, remember that in graphic display options, I have activated the shadows, both the cast shadows and the ambient shadows. If I didn't have the ambient shadows, well, it will look. So I think it adds some quality on the reflection. And casting shadows, if I don't have shadows, yeah, it doesn't look that good. So I think this kind of section perspective works well with both. I have a section through the staircase, and it would be great if I had a skylight here. So if you are able to create a section through a staircase and through the skylight in this room, that would be the perfect section. Okay, but we have this, and now we have to start deleting things or creating other things or hiding. Okay, so first, this is the crop region. Okay, so the crop region is the part of the drawing that we are going to show. So we can extend this. And that's what we are showing. I have locked the view. So I'm going to unlock it. If you unlock the view, you can zoom in and out. But once you get the right zoom, then we have to save orientation and lock view. Okay. I can't move this because I have this, so I'm going to hide that window because I want to extend that here, the crop region here. Okay. So now I have the crop region. So I'm going to crop the view and I show only the things that are inside the crop region. And the view is locked, so now I can't move it, I can't rotate it. Okay, so I can move it, but I can't rotate the view. Okay, good. So what's next? I don't need the section box, so I'm going to hide in view this element. And I know I don't need the levels. I'm going to hide in view this category. So I just need the topography, and the building. I have worked with, I'm going to activate everything again, view, user interface. So I'm going to select the properties windows there. And in the visibility graphics, it's mechanical. No, it has to be architectural, structure. I don't need mechanical. Okay. So in all these disciplines, I have the cut pattern, black. I have the walls, the structural framing, structural foundations, stairs, roofs, and floors. But this is a structural foundation and it's not hatched in black. Shouldn't be like this. So I'm going to override graphics in view by category, and I'm going to try the cut line. Yeah, it's the cut pattern is black. I'm going to try to do the same with doesn't work. Is it the surface pattern? Do I have to do this? Solid. Nope, doesn't work. Why is that? I don't know. The same thing happens with this. Is it because it's embedded in the topography? Might be, yeah. So I think that's it. If I get rid of the topography, I will have this black hatch. Okay. If I hide the topography, I have all these. So that would be the right option. I don't know why that happens when I insert or when I don't hide the topography. Anyway, let's keep doing this, and I'll take care of the topography later. Okay, so then I have to open one of the sheets. Okay, I have it here, but I want to delete this. And now I'm going to prepare like a good presentation for this option. Okay, so that could be the outcome of this page with the section perspective at the bottom. And here we can have two of the elevations, this elevation and that one. So what have I done to this? Well, I have changed the section here, and I have a section through the skylight. I don't have the staircase here, but it would be great if I had the staircase and the skylight there. And then I have, well, instead of having this truss outside the wall, I have brought the truss inside the wall, and I think that looks nicer. And in addition, I have painted that texture here. Okay, so you see that we have some hatch in the floor and the walls. So that looks better. The same thing here. You see that I have a hatch here on the walls of this elevation. What have I done on the section perspective? I have created all the visibility graphics. There's a better way to do that. If you select all the elements and you just change, override all the cut patterns, you do it all at once. You don't have to select the walls, the roofs. So everything that it's cut will be this hatch in black. Then for the option of this hatch, I used this command paint. If you used paint, I'm going to have material. Well, these are the material libraries. I'm going to create a new material to show you how to do it in Manage. I can go to Materials and I can create a new one. I'm going to name it hatch wood. And then in graphics, in the pattern, I'm going to use this horizontal pattern. And if I double click on this horizontal pattern, I can see the angle, it's 0, and then the spacing is, that's weird. Okay, I'm going to try this and then I will change the spacing. Okay, line. If I select the wall here and I use the paint option, the hatch wood material will appear, and then I can select the wall, and that's it. So in this case, we have horizontal patterns. Yeah, we have no horizontal pattern here. Well, that's fine. If you want to change it, what do we have to do? We have to go to Manage Materials again, We have the hatch wood. We select this, and we can select the vertical one. Then apply, and then this will change. Okay, for some reason I have this vertical and this horizontal, probably because they have different patterns, but it's quite easy to do that, and I can do the same thing with the floor. I'm not happy with the hatch that we have in this retaining wall. Okay, you see that by default we have this hatch. I don't like it. So I'm going to go again to manage materials. And if I select the concrete, I think it's concrete casting place. And you see that this pattern is sand. I don't know, when in doubt, no pattern. And I think that looks better. It doesn't have to be a pattern. When we have wood, we can have a pattern, but when we have concrete, it's not necessary. Okay, so remember I can use these patterns. Oh, and then the lights. Selecting the right light and shadow, it's important. So you can select this in sun settings. And in sun settings, if you select steel, I think by default Revit does the day in which we're doing this. So if today is November the 4th, it will apply. Okay. But if we are in south elevations, the best day would be December the 21st at noon, kind of. And that will bring the best contrast between something, between the light and the shadow here. So I think it depends on the orientation. But if you if you want to work with this section perspective, the best day is December the 21st around noon. And what else? Well, if we work with the elevations are actually 3D views. Okay, so I have designed, I have worked with 3D view, and I go to this perpendicular right view, and then I bring the elevations. Why is it cropped here? Because I'm using the crop region. Okay, so I want to use the crop region. And I'm cutting just this, and I'm cutting that. That's the topography, okay? And I want to make sure that this line is continuous throughout the sheet that I'm preparing. In this case, I can hide the crop region. Oh, look at this. I can move it a little bit here. And now if I had the crop region, I only see the line. And I think it would be interesting if we could, this is the topo solid, if we could have this line with a different thickness. Okay, so I'm going to try to change the line weight there. How can I do that? Visibility graphics. I'm working with the topo solid. And now the cut patterns, it doesn't exist, but I'm going to change the cut line in topo solid. Okay, so topo solid cut line. Then I overwrite, and here we have a weight. So for the weight, I'm going to do something very heavy, like 10. You see what it looks like. Nothing happens because we have this in thin lines. We click here, and now we have this thick line with the weight 10. Okay, if I go to the sheet, okay, so you see that this line is thicker than the other one. When we're dealing with elevations, that makes sense. It's not long enough. So if it's not long enough, what can I do? I can go to the 3D view, sorry, the elevation, that elevation. And well, I have different options here. I have the section box. So I'm going to extend the section box. Okay, so it's not a problem with the section box. It's, or maybe, yeah, so it's a problem with the section box. I have extended the section box. And now I have extended this. If I activate the crop region now, and I move it here and here, and now I hide the crop region, will it work? Yep. So now the section is beyond. That's the frame of the sheet that I have created. What's that? This is the crop region of the section perspective. If I hide this crop region, now in this sheet, I don't see that. Okay, so I make sure that the file or the drawing is bigger than this frame. And then when I print it out, I have to cut the paper here. Okay. And well, that's it. I think that works well. What about the scale? If I select this, the scale, I tried different scales. This 1 equals 10. It's weird because we have 1/8, 1/16, but 1/8, it was too much. Yeah, so it doesn't fit in this sheet, you see? So that's why I used 1/10. 1 equals 10. And then 1 equals 10. Now I have to be consistent, and this one is the same scale. In this case, I don't have the scale because it's a 3D view. So sometimes with 3D view, we don't have scale, and we have this size crop. The size crop, I have to click on scale, log proportions, and then I can change the width. If I type 30, the drawing will be smaller. If I do the same, scale, log proportion, and I make it 32 inches, the drawing will be slightly bigger. Okay, so somewhere between 30, the width, it's somewhere between 30 and 32, because the page is 30 by 40, 42. Okay, so I think that looks good enough. And I have a section the perspective, and I have this. If you want to make this line thicker, we have to go to elevation 2, this file. We have to go to visibility graphics, select toposolid, the cut line. We override it and we change the weight to, I think it was 10, what I used before. And then this one, yeah, we see the line here. Are we done? There's always something else to do. So I can go to annotate and I can insert the text. So I think this is the north elevation. And the same thing here. This is the south, this is the east elevation. Okay, that's a section perspective. Well, we don't need to place a title or to type a title for this, because everybody understands that it's a section with a perspective. Okay, very basic presentation, black and white, just elevations at the same scale, add some details with these hatches, but I think it's good enough.